Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you back yet again for another character discussion I want to do for this Spider Ballot list of videos, list of characters that I want to do on characters that would be cool to vote for, potentially choices for you guys to vote for, or be just cool in general to see in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Now, on my last series of videos back at number 18 or so, I did a Fire Emblem If representation character with Kamui. I'm going to go back to the Fire Emblem If, and I'm going to talk about another character that is from that game. Another character that seems to be a major character in that game for the storyline, and that's going to be the Nohr side character, Marx. Now, just like I said about Kamui, this could be a cool character to add in because it'd be the recent Fire Emblem, advertising the recent Fire Emblem game, just like Roy did back in Melee. He was not released on Fire Emblem 6 yet. That came out in 2002, when Smash Bros. Melee came out in 2001. This could be a character like that, to advertise the newest Fire Emblem. And I said Kamui back then, like back in number 18 or so, because he is the legit main character, the next avatar after Robin, and it would be kind of cool to have the male-female character, the dragon transformation, and stuff like that. Now we're on Marx, a clear character on the Nohr side, who is essentially your not blood-related brother, but family that you grew up with. Like the prince type character. If you guys don't know who I'm specifically talking about, you're obviously seeing him in a picture right now on the video. But it's the Nohr side prince, the blonde-haired prince guy. Now, why would he make sense in Smash Brothers? Well, first and foremost, maybe he doesn't have the popularity, maybe he doesn't have the demand of, say, a certain red-headed character in Fire Emblem, but I do think it would be kind of cool to get another advertisement for a future Fire Emblem game, like something that's new and different rather than retread the same old territory for a certain red-headed character. And, I could see, I see people asking for Marx a little bit too. Like, it's not a super requested character, but we're now pushing, towards this Fire Emblem If game. It's coming out later this year in Japan. It's coming out next year in America. And a lot of people are already looking at certain characters from both the Nohr and Hoshido side, and they're already liking a lot of the characters we're seeing. And he's actually one of the characters I do see quite liked a bit. So at least he has a sense of popularity among gamers, and it's only going to raise when the game comes out because there are going to be fans of this character. I can guarantee you that. And I do see some people requested him a little bit. It might not be the best choice now. It might make more sense for Smash Bros. 5, but I do think it would be kind of cool now, just like I said, Kamui, because it's advertisement for the current game. So you're advertising it not only to push sales in Smash Bros., but to push sales in Fire Emblem If. Is that kind of cheap? Yes, but they did it with Roy, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility. And they did the same thing pretty much with Greninja, because he was put in Smash Brothers before Pokemon X and Y even came out. So the game doesn't have to be out to determine the character. And by the time they determine this fighter ballot, anyways, this game's going to be out in Japan. So the Japanese players and gamers are going to be the ones that really know who in the world he really is, and people who obviously import the game in America and Europe and whatnot. But in terms of moveset, what could he do that's different from the rest of the cast? Now, from what we've seen in the game, he seems to be kind of like more of a power fighter, and that kind of puts him in the realm of, say, an Ike. He wouldn't be no Robin, because I don't think I have seen him use magic one single bit. But he's not a fast sword user, so he's not like a Roy, a Marth, or a Lucina. He'd be more on the Ike territory, but he holds the sword different. He has a different, slightly fighting style, but he seems like he's more skilled with the sword than, say, Ike would be. So I'd say he's more skilled, let's say moveset potential compared to Ike from Brawl. So he might be more compared to Ike in Smash Bros. 4, who's more of an older, trained Ike. He seems like he's well trained with the sword, more of a swordsman type character, and he has the royal blood in him, so at least compared to Ike, he'd be a little bit different because he'd be more, I think, his style of sword-based style of sword fighting would be more attuned to like a prince fighting with a sword rather than just a normal sword user, like Braun type guy. And he wouldn't be super powerful anyways. Like he'd be kind of like reaching Ike levels, but he wouldn't be at Ike levels. But he'd managed to sword different enough to the point where at least when you use him, you're not saying, "Oh, this is an Ike clone," because he certainly wouldn't be. From what we've seen, he does I would certainly say he does not look like anywhere near Ike. And he wouldn't be like Kamui because like Kamui can use. I think Kamui can use other weapons, and then there's also the dragon transformation. He wouldn't be compared to the, like I said before, the fast Fire Emblem characters. And at least his style would be different because I think he'd be more like he'd be fighting as a prince, fighting with a sword. So say take Marth, but make him more muscle bound and slower, but more powerful, more precise, probably with a sword. So something like that, but different swings and different types of sword swings. And like I said, that's all I can really say because there's not really much Musa potential we can really base off it. Like Kamui, we know about the dragon transformation. We don't really know much about Marx so much yet. But I'm only basing off what we're seeing in trailers. And I think he'd be kind of a power-ish fighter. And that's about all I can really say for him. In terms of popularity and demand, it's not really there, but I do see some people mentioning it, and I can guarantee when the game comes out, more people will requesting it. Maybe it won't make so much sense for Smash Bros. 4 for DLC, but I sure as heck think it'd be high up on the list when Smash Bros. 5 comes out in a couple of years. And as for Musa potential, it would at least differentiate him from the fast characters, and he'd be kind of closer to Ike, but different enough to the point where he's not Ike. And that's my thoughts. What do you guys think, though? Do you think Marx would actually make sense? The Nohr character Marx would make sense for Super Smash Bros. Would you want to see him in there? Would you request him? Did you guys vote for him? Or do you think he might make sense maybe even for the next Smash Bros? Put in the comment section what you guys think, and we'll discuss it there. See ya.